Hello, this is Coach Colleen with Teen-tastic Families, and today we are talking about don't let your teens threaten you. For some, you're thinking it's too late. They already do, so we are going to talk about it. Kids as early as 2 years old try to manipulate mom and dad by saying no. And then you find yourself either trying to bribe them or, force them to do something. And the best phrase in the world for dealing with stubborn kids is, we can do this two ways, the easy way or the hard way. So you pick, and if you've already decided on to do something afterwards, as soon as you do this, we can go and do whatever they were looking forward to. Don't use it as a bribe necessarily, like, if you do this, I'll do this. I've worked in urgent care for 18 years and I'm not a nurse, I'm a clerk. But we had this one particular child come in and say, and we needed to do blood work in order to find out what was wrong with her. And so the parents ended up promising a real live pony if she would let the nurse take her blood. And so that's one of the more extreme cases I've seen with children. But as you can see, it can start early just by trying to avoid tantrums. You promise things. Don't do that. You're already past that and you're thinking that ship has sailed. We are going to talk about that. You can change rules. You can say to your family at any point in time, have a family meeting, get everybody together and saying, you know what, we are not happy with how this family is operating. And so we are going to change the rules. We're going to change some things and let them know that you are starting something new. The old rules don't apply and there are going to be different consequences, or there are going to be consequences for things that are said and done in this house. And so you can do that. It takes practice. And if you are interested in that, you really should be interested in one of my coaching programs that I'll give you more info on later, but I will walk you through the steps and how to do that. And it takes 90 days. And we can get you on, fast track to success in your home. But for now, let's talk about teens threatening you. So they might say threaten you with calling social services. And so there's different agencies in every town, city, country, state, province, wherever you're at. So I'm just going to call it social services, where they might call it social worker. They're not feeding me. They're not, what you need to do is just like, great idea. You know what? I have a few things to tell the social worker too. Get that number on your phone on speed dial, like to have it as one of your contacts so you can just look it up, just say, here you go, put it on your phone. And it's one way to nip it in the bud. It's just saying, what? No. And you're on the defensive. Parents, you need to be in control. You need to be on the offensive. If they put something at you, just say, sounds great, then this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. It's up to you. Don't let them rile you. Don't get angry. Don't get flustered. Do not ride on their roller coaster ride. Do not let them be in control. And manipulating and threatening is when you're playing their game and you do not want to play their game. So stay in control. It's just like, okay, fine. Another one, I actually was just talking to a mom online and more like texting, and she was saying how her, I can't remember if it was son or daughter, was threatening not to go to school unless the parent did something for them. And my answer to that is, do not cave. Stick to your rules. If they decide not to go to school, you deal with that separately. Then they are grounded if they don't go to school. They lose privileges. They can't go to a friend's party. They can't, right? So don't let them threaten you. Call it on them. call them on it and let them make that decision. But don't cave on your rules for fear of them, or they're going to run away, or that they're going to, you know, cut themselves, that they are going to, I don't know. I mean, the things they come up with are endless. So stick to your rules, and if they don't, if they follow through on their threat, then that's a separate issue. Then deal with that separately. If they decide, you know, not to go to school, you can, you know, and or do whatever they, you know, deem necessary, their threats. I've said it before, take furniture out of their room, let them sleep on the mattress with a blanket, pillow, basic set of food, of clothes. You know, if they have, you know, 50 shirts, 50 pants, give them 5 of each, or 10 shirts, you know, 5 pants. Even that's a lot. It just gives them time to do laundry in between. Laundry is another thing. If they don't do laundry on their day, and if they, you know, this is just a side rabbit trail, limit the amount of soap they have. If they are not sorting their clothes between clean and dirty, and then everything's dirty again, limit the amount of soap they have. And you've got to cut bare bones. These are the rules. This, you know what, as far as social work goes, you have to feed them. You can give them, if they miss supper and that's one of your rules, put a can of tuna on the counter with a loaf of bread. That's food. You do not have to cater to them. If they don't like what's being served, you can go hungry. You know how many kids out there that are starving because that's, you know, an old line, you know, the kids are rolling their eyes to say so much. But you know what? Be happy with it, what you've got. I didn't get it out of the dumpster. Be grateful. And so we have to be firm with our kids. Have to. And okay, so you can take, you know, their clothing down to the bare bones, like I said. Let them have their toiletries though. That is important. They need to have their shampoo and their soaps, you know, and different things. Razor blades, if they're threatening to cut, take away their razor blades. You do not want to have a child that is threatening to cut themselves with anything sharp. So, but as far as toiletries, even makeup, for a girl to take away her makeup is just leave her with the basics. If she has 5 lotions she uses on herself, leave her with a general bottle. But you can come into a fine line when it comes to makeup, just because it has to do with identity. And so be careful with that one. But so leave them basic toiletries, because they need hygiene is one of the things we do need to provide for our children. And so don't take that away altogether. All right. If they wreck the room, wreak havoc, throw things all over. If they break lamps, don't touch it. Leave the mess. They have to live with it. And yeah, don't clean up their messes. Parents, you need to let them suffer the consequences of what they've done. All right. I think we're almost done here. So in the end, don't let them call the shots. You need to be in control of your home. Be extreme, even on their first offense. It's just like, okay, you want to play that game, and it's if it's so extreme, they'll be shocked. You want to shock your teens. Shock therapy. That's not electrical. It's, you know, when they do something, go to the extreme on the consequences, because it'll stop them in their tracks. And that's what you want. You want shock value when it comes to parenting these days, because nothing less is going to do it, especially with certain teens that live in your home. Make them earn back what they've done. If you've taken away a dresser or your bed frame and they're on the floor, make them earn it back. You have to prove to me that. And a lot of you are already doing that. That's great. I'm talking to those who don't. So, or at the end, if you have to, call the cops. All right. Well, that's it for this video. You can contact me by email at teentasticfamilies@gmail.com. That's teentastic, TEN, tastic, TASTIC, families@gmail.com. I also am on Facebook. You can find me there. If you find this video was very helpful, please press the subscribe button and the notification button next to it, so it makes that you don't miss a video on the next video I send out. Or if you really want some one-on-one, please contact me by email and we'll have a free 45-minute strategy session, and we can talk about what's going on in your home, if I can help, if one of the 90-day programs would be a fit for you. And you don't have to do this alone. All right, that's it. We'll see you next time.